out of sorts. Is something wrong?
I hate school.
I'm sorry you're upset, honey. Penny for your thoughts? I'm here to lend an ear if you need one.
High school is so tough. All the other kids do better than me. I don't want to cry over spilt milk, but my math grade dropped from an A- to a B+ last semester. This semester, I had hoped I would do better, but I can't hit the mark. I got a C- on my last test. To top it all off, I have too many homework assignments and not enough time.
Sometimes, when you're having trouble learning, you have to go back to square one. You can't get better in math if you haven't mastered the basics.
I already know the basics, Mom. You're just adding fuel to the fire right now.
I'm sorry, honey. I know you're upset. Why don't you tell me more about it? I'll try to just listen.
Well, there's this girl in my math class, Cassie. She gets an A on everything. She knows the answer to every question. She makes me feel like I'm not good enough. I always have butterflies in my stomach when the teacher asks me a question. I feel like the teacher puts me on the spot. Then, if I get a question wrong, I get made fun of by the other students.
Does the teacher know that they do that?
I don't think the teacher knows, and I'm not going to tell her. That would just be going out of the frying pan and into the fire. She might stop the other kids from teasing me in class, but they would find other, worse ways to pick on me.
I'm sorry, honey. You shouldn't listen to their teasing. I know it doesn't feel good, but it's okay to make mistakes. It's part of learning. I hope those kids in your class come to their senses and realize that.
My history classes are so stressful too. I'm always on pins and needles waiting to get my tests back. I can't seem to pull myself together. My last history exam, I barely finished in the nick of time. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that I got at least a B-. I don't know how Nancy always manages to get A+ at history. I would be over the moon if I got her grades. I wish I were as smart as her.
Honey, I don't want to beat around the bush, so I'll get straight to the point. It sounds like you're comparing yourself to the other students. If you keep doing that, you'll go out of your mind. In a nutshell, I think you need to focus on doing your own personal best.
Well, I just feel like I'm always in the dark about how to do well in my classes. When the teacher gives an assignment, I feel like the ball is in my court. I burn the midnight oil trying to complete the assignment. Thankfully, I'm a night owl, or else I would probably be failing my classes. Somehow, I always seem to run out of time. When I feel that it should be like shooting fish in a barrel.
Sometimes you need to ask someone to lend a hand to help you get back on your feet. We can get you a tutor, or you can find a friend to study with. You don't have to figure it out all on your own. And who knows, maybe this situation is a blessing in disguise.
How could my trouble in school be a good thing? It feels like I'm a failure.
You're not a failure, honey. You are the apple of my eye, and I'm very proud of you. No one expects you to do everything perfectly. You're doing your best. That's all that matters. You work hard, and you should feel good about your performance in school. This situation gives you the chance to turn over a new leaf and think differently about yourself. You are smart, and you don't need to compare yourself to others.
What do you mean? That grades don't define me?
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head. You can see that you are worth more than your grades. You can try to stop being so hard on yourself.
Thanks, Mom. I'll try to let it go and not worry about it so much. Your support is music to my ears.
I'm glad you feel better, honey. I'm here for you, and I believe in you. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Never in a million years did I think I would become a successful business owner. I used to be the black sheep of my family, driving everyone nuts with my behavior. As a teenager, I would drive my parents' car very fast. I hung out with some kids who liked to do bad things in the neighborhood. My parents didn't know all the bad things I was doing. I would pull the wool over my parents' eyes, saying I was staying after school, when I was really meeting up with my friends. I went behind my parents' backs quite often. But one day, I was caught red-handed. I was at my friend Tony's house while his parents were out of town. We were drinking alcohol and listening to loud music. I got in an argument with him, and in the heat of the moment, I shoved him and he fell down the stairs. Normally, I wouldn't hurt a fly. But I had drunk too much and I was out of control. I felt bad about what I had done. Tony was badly injured. I had to call my parents to take us to the hospital. I made a fool of myself when my parents came to the door and I still had a drink in my hand. My mother was as pale as a ghost when she saw me. My parents took Tony to the hospital, but they told me that I was out of line. I realized that all that glitters is not gold, and I had been acting foolishly. I told my parents I was sorry, but actions speak louder than words. They didn't trust me after that day. I wasn't allowed to use the car or go to my friends' houses for a long time. Over my dead body, my dad would say to me when I wanted to take the car. So I soon became a couch potato. I wasn't interested in school, and I refused to do my schoolwork. My grades were always bad because I was lazy. Once in a blue moon, I would do my homework, but most of the time I thought there was no point. Instead, I wanted to be in a rock band. I learned to play the guitar by ear, and I thought I was really good. I was using music to distract me from my failures. That same school year, I had a teacher, Mr. Andrews, who challenged me. His style of teaching caught my eye from the very beginning. We were all eyes and ears while he was teaching. The classroom was as quiet as a mouse. He told me I was good at reading and writing.
The sky's the limit. You just have to believe in yourself. Work on yourself every day, and good things will happen.
He challenged me to think outside the box, giving me challenging material and helping me to make up my mind about it.
Practice makes perfect.
Even when I felt I had bitten off more than I could chew, he encouraged me that I could do it. Soon, I became a very good student.
Wow!
Everyone was surprised, including me. Sometimes I still missed the mark, but that only encouraged me to try harder. I began to do everything by the book. I listened to my parents and never stayed out too late. I realized education is very important because it can open so many doors. I ended high school on a high note and was able to go to a good college. Later, when I was finishing college, I got a great idea for a business. I created a special program for high schools to train kids who are unmotivated. I wanted to help the teenagers break their bad habits and create better ones. Some of the kids in this program are starting from scratch and can't read very well. Some kids seem scared of their own shadow, too afraid to ask their teachers for help. I have seen these kids go from being nervous to acting as cool as a cucumber. My business has really taken off the last couple of years since I graduated. I can barely keep track of how many schools my program is being used in. It is possible to turn over a new leaf and change your life for the better. I'm glad I learned the lessons I did because they brought me down to earth. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
The end of my rope with this job. The boss has really crossed the line this time. He asked us again to work on our day off. And I had such wonderful plans for today. He really pushed my buttons with this. This is the last straw. I'll end up going bananas if I have to work here for one more day.
Just take it easy, Tom. You know you need this job.
You always go above and beyond to please him. I can't believe you're so calm, given the fact that you've just lost another day off. But this time, I'll just go to him and ask him for a raise.
If you think he's going to give in, you might as well save your breath. He'll never do it.
Then I'll make sure to let him know I'm fed up with doing extra work for no pay. I'm going to stand up for my rights.
He'll hold a grudge against you. Or even worse, he may give you the sack. Just let it go.
So the solution is to just butter him up and agree with everything he does?
No, of course not. But for the time being, it's better not to say anything. Maybe he will pay for our extra work after all. 9 times out of 10, you act first and then figure things out. You don't want him to kick you out of your job. Just wait and see.
I wish I won the lottery so that all my problems could come to an end.
You're playing the lottery?
Yes, I am. Have you ever tried it?
No, I haven't. Lottery is not my cup of tea. So, how often do you play?
I buy a lottery ticket every week. Something tells me a large lottery win is just around the corner. Consistency can work wonders, you know. Maybe my numbers will come up soon. If I won the lottery, I would be on top of the world. All my dreams would come true. I could pay off all my debts, and I wouldn't have to worry about money for the rest of my life. I think I'm close to making it.
Don't be fooled into thinking that winning the lottery is a piece of cake. Just take into account the amount of money you have to pay to buy tickets. Even if you want, so much money out of nowhere could make you go nuts. You can lose it as easily as you want it. On the one hand, it can make all your dreams come true. But on the other hand, it can tear families and friendships apart. I don't think lottery winners have such a worry-free life. I wouldn't like to be in their shoes. To make a long story short, when it comes to the lottery, I have a bad opinion.
So you're saying we're better off poor, struggling to keep our heads above water? It's difficult to make a living on minimum wage.
I think you're better off making your way up step by step, through your own work. You'd rather hit it big in life through hard work. Over the long run, you'll be much happier earning your money by your own effort. There are so many people that started out poor, living from hand to mouth, and ended up very well off. They actually founded and ran their own company. I think we should take the leap and start our own business. It is up to us to be successful.
I'll have my own business when pigs fly. That's out of the question for me. I'll just stick to playing the lottery.
It may turn into an addiction.
There's nothing wrong with playing the lottery every once in a while.
You are more likely to lose money than to win. Well, do it your way. The bottom line is this. You can play once in a while, but don't get carried away. Don't get caught up in the lottery craze. Keep your job and go about your life in the same way you've done so far. Until you win, just seize the day and enjoy life as it is. Like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.